All right, friends, welcome. So we are going to be live tonight for probably about an hour. It's actually a beautiful night here. Oops, and I think we may need to change out the gimbal. Give us a second, but it's actually a pretty beautiful night out here in Sunny Isles Beach, Florida. But we're going to be walking around the ocean, the beach tonight. So the good news is that pretty much the entire storm missed us here in Miami, Florida, but the winds are pretty high, probably about 45 mile an hour plus winds. But tonight we're just going to be doing a quick walk around Sunny Isles Beach. But unfortunately, places like Tampa, Florida, Fort Myers are really bearing the brunt of the storm here. So that is definitely unfortunate. But it's actually a pretty nice night out. No rain, no flooding. Now, this isn't downtown Miami, this is Sunny Isles Beach. I do not have any power at the house, so the gimbal just died, but I do have a backup one. So bear with us for 1 second, and I will try to see if my other one works. I think my other one had so much water damage that it may not work, but just give me 2 seconds and I'll try to change it out. Bear with us here. Hey, Karen Alcatraz, good to see you. Hey, Laythus here, what's up? Yeah, so I'm not even too sure why the power is not on in my house, because we really didn't get too much damage, to be quite honest. We just got a ton of rain last night and into the early hours of today. But if this gimbal dies, now it's fully charged, but I think it has some water damage, so it may conk out on us here, short out. If it does, we'll just have a little bit of a shaky stream. I'll try to carry it. But we are Sunny Isles Beach. There's gonna be no topic for tonight, because if it starts raining, I want to try to boogie out of here as fast as possible. But it's actually a pretty beautiful night here. I think we definitely lucked out. Hey, Joe Hernandez says, hey Tom, here in Orlando waiting. Joe, please stay safe. Now, I think the worst of the storm, I believe, is over as it relates to Fort Myers and Tampa, Florida. And I think it's cutting across the state and headed right towards Orlando. So definitely hoping and praying for the best for you guys over there. Media says, Tom, 1 million people without power in Florida. Yeah, I'm definitely one of them, unfortunately. Now, I think it probably has to do with Fort Lauderdale, as well as parts of Aventura, Florida, which had a lot of tornadoes, as a matter of fact. So we'll see what we got going on tonight. I'll take you guys to the beach. It's actually a beautiful sunset here. So, I mean, we definitely lucked out here in Miami. I'll show you guys the sunset on that side. Hey, I see Chris Beeman here. Hey, Chris. Welcome. Line Sync is here. Layda, you're right. This is the wind also does a lot of damage. Now, the wind wasn't too bad in Miami. I would say during the day yesterday, it was probably pretty consistent 25 mile an hour winds, but the wind gusts at some points probably got all the way up to 65 miles an hour. Now, I think the tornado touched down a little bit north of here, maybe knocking out some major transformers as to why I do not have power. But hopefully they'll restore that. as fast as possible. Hey, Marcia's here. Good to see you. This is Tom. You lost power again. Yeah, so I lost power probably right around, I want to say, if I had to take a guess, maybe 10 o'clock in the morning. Maybe 10 o'clock. Hey, Papa Music is here. Welcome. So this is the main strip of Sunny Isles Beach, Florida. This is a very, very, very nice neighborhood just north of Miami. And we are going to be crossing over to the beach to see how everything is over there. Now, I think this Starbucks is closed, and if you guys notice, a lot of businesses were closed. I think they were mandated to close, but you see a lot of the sandbags here all piled up. And I think they're piled up here at the door too, because Sunny Isles Beach is very, very close to water, right on the water. So any of the flood waters that come up, hopefully these sandbags keep it out. But we lucked out, we got lucky, so that I am very thankful. Hey, 48 is here, good to see you. Welcome, 48, appreciate your well wishes. Yeah, Jared Covey says, wow, that pink hue. It's beautiful weather out tonight. Now, I hate saying that as the rest of the state is being devastated by this hurricane. So I could say, you know, for all of those here on the east coast of Florida, especially in Miami, we got really, really lucky. Now, I was in downtown Miami yesterday, and there was some really, really crazy bands, as they call. We had a couple of Ian bands roll through, but nothing too terrible, nothing too terrible. But the power is out in parts of Miami, North Miami Beach. Sunny D is here. Good to see you, Sunny D. And the wind has died down materially. Now, all day it was really, really crazy winds. But right now it's actually kind of peaceful and it's kind of calm. All right, let's cross here. Sweet Country Living in Michigan says, hey Tom, hope all is well. Thank you, my friend. Everything is fantastic. Sherry Rodrigo says, hey Tom, glad you are safe. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Sherry, we are here in Sunny Isles Beach. And it is beautiful weather. Give you guys a shot over here. Chris Beeman says, were you able to make your call this morning? Yeah, so I didn't have internet. Obviously, I didn't have power, but I'm using the hotspot on my phone. Now, I was walking around some of the neighborhoods, and really the only thing that was worrisome was just there was some trees down, just your basic stuff, but I don't really see any property damage, which is very good news. Hey, Myra is here, says, hey Tom, happy to see you as well. I see Wendy England. Cindy Foley says, can't hang tonight, so glad you're okay. Hope the power comes back soon. Thank you, Cindy. Yeah, it's gonna be a very, very short stream, maybe about an hour, just walking around. No topic tonight, just wanna check out the beach. If we can cross the street. You can start to see the sun setting right now. Hey, Line Saying says, Tom, thank you for the live from your home last night. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too terrible, but let me press this thing. Let's see if it works. Hey, Alice says, hey Tom, hope you're safe. Thank you so much. Austin City Limits says, hello Tom, you surprise me all the time. Yeah, I mean, earlier on in the day, I didn't think we were gonna be able to live stream. But the weather's pretty much normal now. So I thought I'd just jump on, just do a quick walk to the beach. Vinny Castellano is here, says, please be safe, Tom. What's up, Vinny? Good to see you. Sunshine After Rain. Welcome, welcome. Says hello, Tom and everybody. Wendy England says I have to leave and drive home, catch later. Take it easy, Wendy. Now, I was watching some of these videos on Twitter with the massive storm surge in Fort Myers, Naples, Florida, and really devastating stuff. And this sort of reminds me of Hurricane Sandy back in the day. And Sandy was really bad, not because of the wind, really not because of the rain. The reason why it was bad was because of the storm surge. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the storm surge during Hurricane Sandy was probably about 8 feet. And from what I'm hearing, it seems that the storm surge in parts of Naples as well as Fort Myers could be as high as 12 to 13 feet. Now that's really unimaginable. I mean, that amount of water is forceful enough to literally pick up a house and move it down the block. So hopefully everybody heeded the warnings to evacuate if you were in an, say, an evacuation zone. Vinny Castellano says we lost so much due to Sandy in Staten Island. Yeah, I mean, not a lot of people remember that, Vinny, but Sandy was absolutely horrible. And in some very select communities, to your point, Staten Island, Brooklyn, Queens, especially Long Island, I'd say like South Shore, Long Island. I remember they had to bring in like FEMA-sponsored generators to power those specific communities. People were without power for weeks. And unfortunately, I think it's gonna be like this in some parts of Florida. So let's see if we can cut through the beach here. I'm not sure how good the internet is gonna be. Yeah, Cosmos says, I can't believe Sandy was 10 years ago. That's insane, man. 10 years ago, jeez. Yeah, so as you can see, it's not bad at all out. We've completely missed the hurricane. Now, yesterday we did have some type of, hurricane bands, as they call it, that was coming off of Ian. And those would last probably about 10-15 minutes. And man, were they powerful. So I could only imagine, having that hit as a full force. I mean, really thinking of those people on the West Coast. Just those storms. Hey, Teresa Diaz, good to see you. All right, so here we are at the beach. We may lose internet connectivity, so let me know in the chat, everybody, if the internet is working. But this is Sunny Isles Beach, Florida. This is one of my favorite beaches. This is actually the beach that I live closest to. And this is the view headed northbound on the beach. But check this out, the surf is actually kind of rough. Now, if you guys saw, I shot a video, a standalone video called The Calm Before the Storm. And there was really no waves like this. So we're definitely seeing the surf pick up. But I'm very thankful that pretty much Miami was spared from this crazy storm. And it actually, I hate to say it, as the rest of the state is getting pounded by a hurricane, it actually is a beautiful night here at Sunny Isles Beach. Beautiful night. Casa says it's cutting in and out, but it seems good now. Jules is here, says, hey Tom, glad you made out okay. Ooh, directly across from the East Coast of landfall. Jules, please be safe. Diego is here. 48. G-Shep. Oh man, G-Shep, were they able to, was your family able to evacuate? I mean, Fort Myers, that was like in the thick of it. So hopefully they got a chance to evacuate. Yeah, this looks like choppy surf. This is sort of like a normal day at Jones Beach, but it's very uncharacteristic of Miami waters to be very wavy. Now, God forbid, we got the type of storm surge that they got in Naples and Fort Myers. That's a 12-foot storm surge. That means the water would probably reach all the way to the second floor of some of these buildings here. So definitely thanking God that we didn't get hit at all. Hey, British Gray is here. How are you holding up? I know British Gray is joining us from Tampa, Florida. So I trust you're well. Hopefully not a lot of flooding, not a lot of damage on your end. Ooh, G-Shep. Since they weren't able to evacuate. I haven't heard anything. I'm hoping and praying. Dude, I'll be hoping and praying right along with you. I mean, some of the videos that I've been seeing on Twitter is just almost surreal. That's why it's so important if they tell you to evacuate, you have to go. Hey, Roy S., good to see you. JQ G Atlas is, yeah, exactly like Jones Beach. Yeah, I mean, to see this in Florida is a little weird, because these are pretty powerful waves. I mean, they're coming right up to my feet here. Usually the water on the beaches in Miami are like glass, crystal clear. Hey, Daryl is here. This is Tom. Good evening from Chicago, Illinois. Good to see you, Daryl. Alice, someone who's from the UK, if you're told to evacuate, where do you go? So usually there are either hurricane centers, like FEMA centers that you can go to, shelters, or, you know, you just get out of the state and get a hotel somewhere, stay with family, friends. Hey, Dusty is here. Says, hey, Tom, everybody, how are we? Doing good, Dusty. So we're not going to have the traditional stream where we cover the financial markets tonight. This is just a very impromptu stream. I wasn't even going to stream tonight. But the weather has improved materially here in Miami, so very windy. I'm sure you guys could hear the wind in the microphone, but just let me know if we start to buffer and I'll have to head back. Daryl says, I have family in Clearwater, Florida. So how did Clearwater hold up? I'm not too sure if Clearwater got the brunt of it. I know the entire west coast of Florida is not having too good of a time at all. But now I think the worst is actually over for them. And I think the worst is headed inland towards Orlando, Florida. Man, some of these buildings here in Sunny Isles Beach are amazing. Hey, Daniel Solomon, thank you so much, my friend. Just waiting for your return to New York. Stay safe out there. Thank you. Appreciate that, Daniel. Yeah, I mean, look, Daniel, we got lucky here in Miami. Only some wind. I mean, there was a couple tornadoes that touched down. But all in all, pretty good, pretty good. Hey, Marcy is here. Good to see you, Marcy. GX72, happy birthday to you, my friend. The big 50, 50. Now, I'm sure the west coast of Florida is going to need to have a ton of help. So hopefully, you know, along with the local government here, the state of Florida, and the federal government, we can get these people the help they need to rebuild. But I think it's going to be a couple of days before we can really assess the damage. It is windy though. Boston City Limits is Tom. I guess you worked today. I did for a little bit. I wasn't that productive though because the power was out. Man, this building is really, really nice here. Hey, Dusty Coles is my buddy was in Key West. They got hit pretty hard, but they're good now. That's good. So Dusty, I think Key West also had a lot of the storm surge too. But I don't think quite as much as some of the other smaller cities in Florida. Bernard Friedman says, yeah, my power also went out in Fort Lauderdale too. Do you have power back on? Because I live not too far away from here and we still do not have power here. Deborah says, I think the Fort Myers surges are really bad. Yeah, that's what I heard too. JQG Atlas says, do you have a generator? I do not have a generator, not yet. Hey, Ryan is here. Good evening, Tom. Florida will be fine. You have the best government in the United States. Stay safe. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people underestimate the storm surge, right? Now, the wind is, you really do have to worry about the wind, obviously, but the worst thing on earth is that storm surge because the water comes in and it brings debris, it brings sand, and it just demolishes everything in its path. And that's sort of what we lived through with Hurricane Sandy. And with Hurricane Sandy, it took years to get back to normal from that. And even some parts of New York City are still suffering from it too. Hey, GGNYC, good to see you. sun is just setting here in Sunny Isles Beach. Just you had a little bit of rain in the Bahamas. That's good news. You know, I was eating at a Cuban restaurant tonight, and I was talking to my waiter, a really nice guy, and he said that his hometown in Cuba is really, really devastated from this storm. And he was telling me that the hurricanes are a lot worse in Cuba than they are in the United States, not because they're more powerful or anything like that, but they don't really have the resources to deal with it like we do in the United States. You know, we have FEMA coming in, we have the National Guard, and I never really thought about it like that. So a lot of the people in other countries that don't have the resources that we do, you know, they could be without power for weeks and weeks just from a minor storm. So hey, the ABX girl is here. Good to see you. Jules says, I heard Cuba doesn't have electricity. Yeah, he was telling me, my waiter today, really nice guy, he was telling me that they don't have just basic food or medicine right now. Wow, check out this shot. That's an amazing sunset amongst this building here. Hey, Fred X is here. This is gorgeous. Good to see you, Fred X. Now, I didn't go to the office today because all of the bus service and all of the Metro Mover service was suspended until further notice. And I think that was a little bit overkill, but at the end of the day, it's good to take extra precautions because you never know where the storm can shift, but we really didn't get much. Deborah says, what parts of Miami don't have power? Well, I lost power twice. The first time was during one of the Ian bands. But then that came on, you know, in 8 hours. But then I just lost it again at 10 o'clock in the morning. And when I left my house to come to Sunny Isles Beach, I still didn't have it. But it seems like everybody in Sunny Isles is pretty good. Everybody here has power. Or maybe that's just because these big buildings have generators and things like that. Ooh, it is so windy. Up here, I can't even breathe. All right, I gotta take a break, gotta turn around. But this is really, really beautiful here, not gonna lie. But for anybody who joined the stream last night, I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me through the hurricane. It was a good time. You guys got to see the house, well, in my front yard. Good times. Hey, Dan Zhang says, hey, is this live? Yeah, so Dan, we weren't gonna go live, but the storm took a turn and we are totally clear here in Florida. I mean, in Miami. So I thought I would just pop on the stream real quick here at Sunny Isles Beach, close to where I live. But thank God everybody in Miami is pretty much safe. You know, we did have a couple tornadoes touch down in Miami-Dade County, most of them in Broward County. But for the most part, I mean, we got really, really lucky here in Miami. I can't say the same for the West Coast. So, the wind is picking up though. Trillies take a dip in the ocean. Maybe when the waves calm down a little bit. Hey, DJ's Review says, hey Tom, glad you're safe. They closed schools here in, let's see where you are, in Southeast Georgia, just in case the weather gets bad. Yeah, well, I think, so now pretty much all of Southern Florida is good to go. Now, the storm is crossing over the state and I believe is set to hit Orlando pretty much right now within the hour. So anybody in Orlando, Florida, please stay safe as the storm comes over to you guys. Brad's brain says, Tom, Uncle's okay in Hollywood, was concerned with the tornadoes. Yeah, so Hollywood is just north of here, actually, Brad. So if you continue to walk all the way up here, you run into Hollywood. And yeah, I saw that too on Twitter, that Hollywood, Florida was having a lot of problems with tornadoes, as well as Fort Lauderdale. It wasn't too bad for me. I just had a lot of wind and rain. Hey, just Barry is here. Hey, Barry. Good to see you. The ABX girl says, you think that Charlotte is going to get hit? Well, hopefully much of the storm is dissipated by then. Yeah, Chris Beeman says it's amazing how it's still Category 3. So this is the main pier here at Sunny Isles Beach. I'll try to see if we could walk down. It's an amazing view. But near my house, there was so many manatees in the water. What is this? What is that? You guys see this? Wish I had my flashlight on me. I think it's a crab. Hold on. It's too dark to see. I don't know what it is. Yeah, I'm gonna get off the beach. But anyway, a lot of the manatees, when the water gets so stirred up, they swim into the canals. So I live basically right on a river or a creek or whatever you want to call it. So there was tons of manatees. I saw like 5 or 6 of them today. They swim to the warmer water. Shot. So hopefully tomorrow we can get back to our regular scheduled streaming. We'll see. I think we will be able to do that, but all of the bus service is still suspended. Hopefully they unsuspend it by tomorrow. I just gotta wash my... Dan says, did you work from home today? I did. No buses going to downtown Miami, nothing. Oh, Zozo Bob, is that right? The bus services stop when the wind gusts go over 35 miles an hour. I guess that makes sense. All right, guys, let's see if we can walk down the boardwalk here. Now, this is one of my favorite parts of Sunny Isles. During the day, this place is beautiful. You have the lifeguard stand, the palm trees. It's absolutely beautiful here. And this is like the beach bar restaurant. Wow, check this out. I've never seen this. So early 1950s, Sunny Isles Fishing Pier, built in 1936. Wow. That's incredible. I didn't know that. This is the view from the pier. Hey Mauricio, good to see you, my friend. Hopefully you're safe. All right. So I'm gonna attempt to walk down the fishing pier, but just let me know, everybody, if we start to buffer, because I'm not sure how good the internet is gonna be all the way down here. Maybe we'll see some sea creatures jumping in and out of the water. I wish you guys were here to see this. I'm not sure how good it's coming out on the stream, but it is beautiful here. I never really get to come to Sunny Isles Beach, and I live right here. Well, pretty close, so. Hey, Omar MD is here. Says, hey, Tom, nice view. Hey, Omar, good to see you. Mauricio TJ says, Tom, I have a cousin living there. God bless you. Thank you so much. Well, I mean, Miami, we've been blessed. We have not got hit by this hurricane. What's really bad is the west coast of Florida. Yeah, Ryan Royal says, look at the waves. And that's the weird thing, Ryan, because I'm not sure how good it's coming out in the stream, but usually the water here in Miami is very, very calm and tame. There's no waves really ever here, so you could see the white caps. That's how you know it's a pretty forceful storm. Oh, I think they closed it. Well, I guess that makes sense. So we can't walk out on the pier because they closed it off. Ooh, it looks like these got all ripped up here. Yeah, I would take you guys, but the gate is locked for obvious reasons. anonymous dude, thank you. All right, so this is headed northbound. I'm gonna show you guys the view downtown. So when we turn around, this is close to the Miami Beach. Whoa. Hey Dutchman, this is Tom. Yes, my cousin in Sarasota took a direct hit and they were safely evacuated. Oh, thank God, my friend. Well, that's good news that they were able to get out and get evacuated. So sending prayers to them, Dutchman. So this is the pier at Sunny Isles Beach. And if you look all the way down, this is like South Beach, Miami Beach area. But if you turn the other way, you could see up to Sunny Isles Beach, Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood, all that. Looks like somebody has a flashlight from their balcony. Oh man, that wind must be like 40 miles an hour at least. Hey, Adam is here, welcome. Deborah's is probably a strong undertow in that water. Hey Brandon, this is Tom. How were all those tornado warnings near you yesterday? So I was good. My neighborhood didn't really get any tornadoes touchdown. However, just north of me in Aventura and Fort Lauderdale, there was actually significant tornadoes that touched down that caused some damage. So I definitely got really, really lucky. It wasn't too bad. There was really no flooding around me. However, when I was in the office in downtown Miami, we got hit with a couple of the Ian bands, and it was just a lot of crazy rain, really, really high winds, probably gusts of 65 to 70 miles an hour. But besides that, this storm pretty much missed Miami, which is the good news. Dusty Cole says Tampa, St. Pete, and Sarasota are gonna get creamed. Hope it's not too bad. Yeah, I mean, hopefully the storm will die down as it crosses the state of Florida. Hey Alden says, that's how I started watching your videos from Hurricane Ida last year that devastated the East Coast. I was looking up Ida and your video popped up. Hey, Alden, well, thank you for being here, my friend. So depending on how things go tomorrow and if the Miami-Dade public transportation is up and running, we should be back to our regular scheduled programming with the live streams. But until further notice, we'll just be doing these storm update streams. But once everything is past us, we will continue our financial analysis talk on the streams. Hey, Sabrina Fair, good to see you. Look at these big white caps moving in. I'm not sure if you guys can see it, maybe too dark. Well, look all the way off to the distance. I think we're going to be able to see some heat lightning. Let's see if we get another lightning strike. Sally is here, good to see you. No, we're not using a microphone. My microphone broke. Chris says there's some bands off the coast in Miami right now. Let's head back into the Sunny Isles area. I think we still have some people on the beach, maybe like a couple. Hey, Solo 401, what's up, man? Yeah, Solo, we made it through the hurricane. It missed Miami, but the West Coast definitely didn't get as lucky as we did. Bagels and Walks is here. Good to see you. I'll give you guys one more shot of the water. Once again, this is Sunny Isles Beach Pier, built in 1936. This building has a pretty nice pool here. Hey, Kevin Ramsey, thank you for joining. Appreciate it. These sort of look like, what are these tiki huts? I'm surprised those weren't blown away. Oh, but look what they made with the chairs here. They put sandbags all at the top so they don't blow away. Hey Denise, good to see you. Welcome to Sunny Isles Beach, Florida. Wow, look at this. This must be like an abandoned, maybe they're doing new construction on it. Look at it. Hey, Seaburger says, Tommy, you gonna head downtown? So there was no bus service today, so I was working from home. So according to some of the viewers in the chat, anytime the wind gets above 35 miles an hour, they close down the bus service. So tonight is just going to be a quick walk around, not going to be our normal stream of talking about the financial markets, just sort of covering the storm, what's left of it. We should be back to our regular scheduled programming tomorrow, hopefully. Hey, Brevard County Real Estate, hopefully you're holding up well. Line Sinks is the Metro Mover. No, the Metro Mover is also closed. Somebody said, what's in the building? I think all of these buildings are apartments, condominiums, however you want to call it, and I believe a luxury hotel. Brevard County Real Estate, as we will know in the morning, may be a Category 1. But please stay safe. Let's see if we could see the main lifeguard stand. It may be too dark. Deep value. Yeah, that's my concern too in regards to the airports. Because I'm supposed to be flying out. I got to go to Frisco, Texas. Now, if the Tampa, Florida airport and the airports on the West Coast are inoperable, I'm sure Miami and Fort Lauderdale airports are going to be absolutely slam packed. So this is the main lifeguard stand here at Sunny Isles Beach. Very, very beautiful. And if you look into the distance, I think we're going to see a pretty interesting heat lightning storm. All right, let's walk back to the mainland. I'm surprised the internet is holding up so well. Usually the service is not good here in Sunny Isles Beach. Yeah, the LT Prods is sort of like New York City on the beach. Well, what they do say is they sort of compare Sunny Isles Beach to Billionaire's Row. So if you guys remember from our New York City streams when we're walking up and down 57th Street, this is like the Billionaire's Row of Southern Florida. So if we continue to walk up this street, I don't think we'll have enough time to do it today. But you'll see the Porsche Design Tower, which is one of the most notable buildings here. And also the Bentley building is going to be constructed not too far up. But for those of you who are new here, we usually live stream about 5 days per week between New York City and Miami and discuss the financial markets. But over the past 2 days, we've been in a storm. So we've been doing some impromptu live streams. So feel free to leave a like on the video and hit the subscribe button if you're new. Yes, Space Marshal, maybe. Hey, Abdullah's here. Good to see you, Abdullah. Yes, you guys can see there's pretty much no flooding here at all. And Sunny Isles Beach floods all the time. Yeah, Anonymous Dude says, I'm surprised Hurricane Sandy was a low category. I think Hurricane Sandy was only a category 1. And that's why I always say it's sort of misleading, right? Because obviously category 5, I believe it's what, 170 mile an hour winds. But in my view, what does more devastation is the storm surge. I would rather take 175 mile an hour winds and no storm surge over, 12 feet of storm surge and no wind. I remember Lower Manhattan was underwater for a week. Oh, category 5 is 157 miles an hour. Copy that. Austin city limits as the wind is subsiding a bit. Hey, Miss Dash is here. Says, hey, Tom. Nice to see everything is good and safe in your area. Thank you so much, Miss Bash. Yeah, Brevard County is like it's the hurricanes that come from the tornadoes. Now, I remember Sandy, it wasn't really that windy. The wind wasn't the issue. I mean, it was almost kind of dystopian in nature. Seeing the subway stations filled with water, Lower Manhattan, totally underwater, Staten Island. It was bad, but I mean, look, that's the risk of living in a place where everybody wants to live, Everybody wants to be in New York City. Everybody wants to be in Florida. It's the cost of living in paradise, I guess. These are just the things we have to overcome. Deep Value Alex says, Tom, I was surprised there wasn't any flooding too, especially since it's been raining prior. Yeah, I mean, it's been raining like crazy. I'm so surprised that Sunny Isles Beach, of all places, is not flooded. This place usually floods really, really bad. Now, I was in downtown Miami yesterday, and it wasn't too bad. There was really not a lot of flooding. I was in Brickell. I was walking through Brickell. I was actually working out of the Brickell City Center. And Brickell floods when you even think about rain. Just by thinking about rain, that place floods. And there was really no flooding at all. Man, but this building looks fantastic. Yeah, Zozo Bob says, Tom, Sunny Isles is the second tallest skyline in Florida. Well, I think they call Sunny Isles Beach Billionaires Row, right? So just like in New York, we have our Billionaires Row, which is 57th Street. Here, I believe if we continue to walk a little bit further up, using my umbrella to point, if we walk a little bit further up, you'll see the Porsche Design Tower. And I think they're just starting construction on the Bentley Tower. All right, guys, once we get to the end of the block, we are going to call it a night. Now, once again, I do apologize. We haven't been on our regular scheduled programming, but we are dealing with some hurricanes here. So hopefully tomorrow we will be back live, 8:30 p.m., depending on if there's public transit. We usually do a live stream about 5 days a week between New York City and Miami, discussing the financial markets. Now, we didn't have a traditional live stream the past couple days because of Hurricane Ian, but hopefully now that the storm is rolling out, we will be able to get back to normal. So if you guys enjoyed the impromptu live stream tonight, feel free to leave a like on the video. Hit the subscribe button if you're new. And we will see you very, very soon. So Austin City Limits, thank you so much. Joan, thank you. Dusty Cole, Lay the Sunshine After Rain, thank you so much. Joe C, Brad's Brain, Brevard County Real Estate, Deep Value, the LT Prod, Zozo Bob. And to the Mighty Bull, have a good night wherever you are, because there is always a bull market somewhere. You just need to know where to look. I'll see you guys hopefully back here tomorrow. Fred X, good to see you. I see you as well. But until then, have a fantastic one. Leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and we will be back on schedule once these storms subside. Thanks, everybody.